Gemar Chatima Tova, if you're interested in lighting candles before we begin the holiday of Yom Kippur, you may do so at this time. We have tea-sized candles up there. And easily light the candles, won't last that long. And recite Shehecheyanu afterwards. Shel Yom Tov, Yom Kippurim, Yom Kippurim. Yeah. No, si vos querés hacerlo, hacelo. Si vos te miñan, ven, te invito el miñan. No. Hay que ver. Cuando quieras, vení, hazlo. Sí. We will shortly begin with Mincha service, which lasts 5 minutes, 6 minutes. And then at 6:30, we'll begin with Kol Nidre. Gemar Chatima Tova would like to give some instructions, if you will, before we begin Kol Nidre tonight. We will begin by reciting Mincha on page 431 of your Maksorim. In all honesty, the only time we really need is the time of 7:36 tomorrow night. So all the rest of times don't have any influence in anything. We're not going anywhere except to our homes to sleep after Kol Nidre night, and therefore I don't want to watch today at all. It could be good, it could be bad, but I trust that at 7:36 tomorrow evening someone will say, Rabbi, it's time. Let us begin then. Ashrei on page 431, Ashrei for Mincha. Ashrei Yoshvei Techa Od Yelalucha Selah. פותח את ידיך ומשביע לכל חי רצון. תהילת אדוני ידבר פי וכל בשר שם קודשו לעולם ועד ואנחנו נברך יה מעתה ועד עולם hallelujah. Kindly rise for Chatzi Kaddish to be followed by Gedusha and Amida on page 433. יתגדל ויקדש שמי רבה ילמד דברי חירותי וימליך מלכותי וחייכון ובמכון וחייכו בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמי יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתעלה ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו. לעילא לעילא מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירם בעלמא ואמרו אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו אלוהי אברהם אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב אלוהי שרה אלוהי רבקה אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא אל עליון גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ומביא גואל לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. זוכרים לחיים מלך חפץ בחיים וחותמנו בספר החיים למך אלוהים חיים מלך עושה ופוקד ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ופוקד שרה אתה גיבור גלם אדוני בחיים מתים אתה רב להושיע מכלכל חיים בחסד מחיים מתים ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים רופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לישני עפר מחמוך בעל גבורות ומדם מלך מלך ממית ומחיה מצמיח ישועה מחמוך ברחמים זוכר יצוריו לחיים ברחמים ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. נקדש את שמך בעולם כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמרום ככתוב יד נביאך וקרא זה אל זה ואמר קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלוך כל הארץ כבוד ולומתם ברוך יאמרו ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקום קודשך כתוב לאמור מלוך אדוני לעולם אלוהיך של דור ודור הללויה לדור ודור נגיד גודלך ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד כי המלך גדול וקדוש אתה ברוך אתה אדוני המלך הקדוש. מלך המשפט. טוב לחיים טובים כל בני בריתך. מלאכה בשלום פרנסה טובה, אני אזכר מיוחד לבניך, אנחנו בכל עמך בית ישראל חיים טוב ושלום. שלום. יגדע ויקדש שמר רבה וילמד דברי חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון ובכל חייך בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. ישמר רבה מבורך לעולם עולמי עלמי יברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויטמע מנעשה ויתעלה 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 לשמר קודשה בריחו לילה לילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה ושפחתה ונחמתה דמירה מעלמה ואמרו אמן. תתקבל צלותנו וברכתנו דכל ישראל קודם עוון דבשמיא ואמרו אמן. השלמה רבה משמיא וחיים עלינו בכל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עשה שלום אברהם ויעשה שלום עלינו בכל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עלינו לשבח לדום הכל התגדולה ויוצא שלום. Yosedaret. כי המלכות שלך היא עולמי תמלוך וכבוד ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר היה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ היום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. We now recall the lives of those who have passed away in the last 30 days. Mitchell Adams, Charles Lipson, Eleanor Saunders, Joseph Yelling, Jerry Liebman. Continue saying Kaddish for Marjorie Ruth Chesson and Stephanie Cruz. For Yotzai for the 9th of Tishrei, the 4th of October, recall the lives of Bonnie Biller, Reuben Goldman, David G. Hare, Rachel Huffman, Harriet L. Sherman, Faye W. Stillman, and Wilfred Nathan Tenenbaum. Is there any other name that I haven't mentioned? So, go ahead. All right. Anybody else? So mourners will rise for the recitation of Kadisha Tom, page 443. Itgadal ve'ikadash shemer rabbah, ve'alma divera chirutei ve'yamlich malchutei, ve'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayedechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv imru amen. Yehi shemer rabbah mevorach le'olam olam me'olmaya, Yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitromam ve'yitnaseh, V'hitadar v'hitaleh v'hitalal shemeri kodesha bricho le'ela mikol berchata v'shirata tushvechata v'nechemata da'amira be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom imromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Please be seated. This is the time and this is the hour. We're about to begin Kol Nidre. We welcome back Hazan Abrams, who was with us on Rosh Hashanah and first and second day, and she's back for Yom Kippur. We would like to call to open the ark to Meredith and Zev Dragon. And I think our past president, Todd Stein, helped us to mobilize the Sifrei Torah. We'll take, I think, 9 or 10 Sifrei Torah, 8 on the ark, and I think 1 here. And we call for the first Kol Nidre. We call our past presidents. This is a way to honor them, serving our congregation for so many years. Then we switch our second Kol Nidre to our millionaires, who really keep the shul going every day. So if you're a millionaire, you can join us on the second Kol Nidre. And on the third one, if you are, if you had your bat mitzvah here with Temple Bethel, if you're a member or not, if you are in that category of being above 13 years of age, you were bar mitzvah with some limitations on the top, you will join us for our third Kol Nidre.
Shiva Shalma ولدات مكم ولدات كهان أنمتين ليت بليلم هوايانيم بشيوة של מלאך ובשיבה של מטח על דר המקום ועל דר הקהל אנו מתירים להתפלל עם העבריינים בשיבה של מלאך ובשיבה של מטח על דעת המקום ועל דעת הקהל אנו מתירים להתפלל עם העבריינים Kol Nidre וחנמי וקונמי וכינויי וכינוסי ושבות תנדרנך ודהשתבנך ודאחרימנך ודאסרנך נפשתנה מיום כיפורים זה עד יום כיפורים הבא עלינו לטובה כל הון יכרת נבהון כל הון יהון שרן שוויקין שוויתין בתלין ומבוטלין לשרירין ולקיימים נדרנה לנדרי ויסרנה לעשרי ושבועתנה לשבועות.
For the second Kol Nidre, we invite the members who have supported our minyan throughout the year. If you came to minyan morning or afternoon, regardless if you came to celebrate or to say Kaddish, we want you up here to hold the second Kol Nidre Torah. וחרמי וקונמי וכינויי וכינוסי ושבות
اشتبانا وليخريمنا فداء أسرنا نفشتنا ميوم كيبوريم اليوم كيبوريم هبا علينا لتوبة كلهن يخرجن بهن كلهن ينشرن شبيكين شبيتين بتالين ومفوتالين لا شريرين فلا كيامين نيدرنا لا نيدره فيسرانا لا يسره وشبوتنا لا شبوت.
On the third Kol Nidre, we will ask our youth, the teens that became Bat Bar Mitzvah years ago, last year, please come up for the last and third Kol Nidre.
Kol Nidre וחנמי וחינויי וכינוסי ושבו Yom Kippurim Ad Yom Kippurim Abad Leinu Letova Kul Hon Icharatna Vechon Kul Hon Yehon Sharan Yehon Sharan Yehon Sharan Yehon Sharan Shviti Shviti Betelin Muvutalin La Sheririn Vela Kayamin Nidrana La Nidre Vesarana La Esare Ushvata La Shvuot La Shvuot V'nislach lechol adat b'nei Yisrael v'lager hagam b'tocham ki lechol ha'am V'nislach lechol adat b'nei Yisrael v'lager hagam b'tocham ki lechol ha'am V'nislach lechol adat b'nei Yisrael v'lager hadar b'tocham ki lechol ha'am Slachna lava mamazel ki godel chastecha v'cha asher natzat el yam hazeh mimitzrayim ve'ad hena v'sham nehemah vayomer Adonai salachti kirvarecha vayomer Adonai Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'hiyanu laziman hazeh.
Ask those who are holding a Sifrei Torah, if you're able to walk down the aisle and come back so everyone has an opportunity to kiss the Torah after Kol Nidre. We thank Chazan, a beautiful Kol Nidre, and Samasha and Jonathan Alentov. Please remain standing. We now turn to page 207 for the beginning of the Ma'ariv service on the night of Kol Nidre. Please remain standing for Baruch.
Baruch
Please be seated as we continue with the first blessing before Shema Israel.
El Chai v'Kayam, Tamidim l'Chalei Olam Va'ed, Baruch Ata Adonai.
Baruch Shemo.
Amari v'Arvim.
Amen.
Avat Olamid Yisrael Amchaya v'Torat v'Mitzvot Yisrael. Ve'avatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim, Baruch Ata Adonai. Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Amen.
Shema Yisrael. Adonai Eloheinu. Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem. Kivod Malchuto.
And
You taught the men to follow the Father from them. למען תזכרו עשיתם כל מצוותיכם קדושים אליכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לעיר. אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. וכל זאת וקיים אלינו כי עולנו משליח חסד גדולות עד אין חקר ונפלאות עד אין מספר שנשמות לחיים. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו אליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לכנו שירה בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם מי כמוך בנים אדוני כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות עושה פלא מלכותך ראו בניך בוקי הים לפני משה זה עלינו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני
Baruch Shemo.
גל ישראל השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ותגננו בעצה טובה מפניך ויושיע למען שמך מידינו ויוסר מעלינו ויבטבר וחרב ורעב ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלומך
kindly rise. We are on page 212 for Ki Vayom Hazeh. Then we continue with Chatzi Kaddish to then fulfill the mitzvah of doing the silent Amidah on page 213 that has a big component at the end called Slichot. That's the portion in which you will use to say Ashamnu, Bagadnu, and also Al Chet. All that will be included in the silent Amidah. So it is generally a very long time for us to read. And we will stay, as we can, standing up. But it begins on page 212 with Ki Vayom Hazeh and then Chatzi Kaddish.
Ki vayom hazeh yichaper alechem letaher etchem mikol chatotechem lifnei Adonai Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah V'yalemad yivrach chirutei V'yamlich malchutei V'chayechon v'yom echon Uv'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, Bagalav Isman Kariv, Bimeru, Amen. Yesh Meravam Mevorach, Le'olam Olam Maya, Yitbarach, Vishtabach, Vitparin man vitnasei, vitadar, vitalal shmei kudisha brichu, le'ela, mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata, v'nechemata, tushbechata v'nechemata, Damira Biyama Vimeru Amen. Yehil ratzon imrefi Yehil ratzon imrefi V'yon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri v'goli. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you. O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'yale kol Yisrael, ve'imru, ve'imeru. Amen.
this is the holiest night of the year. And let me wish you not an easy fast, but a meaningful one. May Yom Kippur reduce not only weight in our bodies, but the weight of guilt and regret that we carry around. May our prayers enable all of us to have the spiritual uplift and to free us from guilt and regret, and all be deserving at that moment to be sealed in the book of life. For many years, with Hazan Lubitz and by myself, I have enjoyed the jokes of Jackie Mason of blessed memory. And this one, he tells a story that he gets together with his friends and drives around New York City. And inevitably, his friends point out to different buildings and said, I almost bought that one. I bought that one, I've sold it too quickly. I could have bought that one, but you know what? They cheated me. That one in the middle is the one I should have bought. But my wife was telling me that we're moving to Florida and therefore I shouldn't buy it. I hope you get the point. The point is that nobody does real estate regrets like the Jews. And we're all familiar with regrets. And we regret about a lot of things, not just real estate. And we could say that tonight is the holy day of regret. The Kol Nidre night is a night to begin the process in which we evaluate our lives in the past year, taking stock of what we have done. And so we regret our actions. We regret our words. We think of the things that we wish we hadn't done, or the things that we didn't do that we wish we had done. When I was at the seminary in New York, part of my training was to visit every Friday around noon a nursing home. And so every Friday I spent an hour or more leading in prayers, Kiddush, and Hamotzi. I interacted with many residents, but there's one of them, an old lady, who received me with open arms, kissed me every Friday. And when one day I said to her, I'm about to graduate from the rabbinical school, she was extremely happy for me. She congratulated me, and she asked me to come back one more time after graduation. Promise me, she said, that you will come back to visit me. I said I promised, but I never returned. It's too late now. I regret that I didn't have the vision to realize that for her that was an important visit. I have not forgotten the fact that I broke my promise without giving any explanation. And I know that not everybody agrees with me that we should revise and check and regret things that we have done or said. Not long ago, I saw a reel with Anthony Hopkins saying, there's no time for regrets. You have to move on. We are accepted as we are. and not for what we think we should be. And if you go back in time, and if you like French cuisine and French music, you will recall the famous singer Edith Piaf with the song, Non, rien n'est rien, non, je ne regrette rien. I will not regret it. Do you believe that we shouldn't talk about regrets? Do you believe that we shouldn't regret things, that we just should move on with life? Somehow we'll figure out. Well, I don't believe that. I think that on Yom Kippur, on the night of Kol Nidre, we have the opportunity to fix what went wrong. And I have to tell you that even past presidents of this country had regrets and came back and fixed the problems. Ulysses S. Grant, Major General in the Union Army, in 1862, he issued a directive banishing all Jews as a class from the vast war zone known as the Department of the Tennessee. Needless to say, the American Jewish community was horrified. They were horrified by Grant's decree and petitioned President Abraham Lincoln to countermand that instruction. And the Missouri lodges of B'nai B'rith publicly beseeched Lincoln to protect the liberties even of your humblest constituents. And years later, when Grant accepted the Confederate surrender, he became a national hero. And as you know well, he was elected to be the 18th president in 1868 and re-elected 4 years later. For all his successes, and there were many, Grant was ashamed of what he had done to the Jewish community. He acknowledged that General Orders number 11 had egregiously violated basic American values. And he said, "I do not pretend to sustain that order." He wrote humbly that statement, and he became the first president to publicly condemn the mistreatment of Jews abroad. The suffering of Hebrews in Romania profoundly touches every sensibility of our nature, Grant said in 1870. A sensibility he underscored by the unprecedented selection of a Jewish consul general to Bucharest. Late in his second term, Grant became the first American president to attend the dedication of a new synagogue, and that was Washington's Adas Israel. His appearance was so powerful. His appearance was a powerful symbol of Jewish acceptance into the American life. The man who once had expelled Jews as a class from that war zone personally came to honor Jews for upholding and renewing their faith. Nahum Sarna writes in his book, at the moment of his death, President Grant was fervently mourned in the nation's synagogues. Seldom before, one Jewish newspaper observed at the time that Kaddish had been repeated so universally for the first time for a non-Jew in America. People say Kaddish for Grant. an American president, to my mind, epitomized the spirit of tonight's service. A man who behaved badly and came to regret his misdeeds and then demonstrated the sincerity of his repentance by permanently changing it for the better. And what about us? You know about you? I know I have regrets. And we should deal with them tonight, tomorrow. You should know that some studies show that regret is more common than anger or loneliness, or that regret leads to anger and loneliness. Maimonides said, you have to experience and express your regrets. You have to articulate your regrets to begin the process of tshuva, says Maimonides in Ilchot Tshuva. We are all carrying burdens of bitter memories and resentments we now regret. Imagine the sense of relief and freedom that we will get if we are able to work them out, express them. Experts say that because our imagination makes things perfect, then we tend to regret more our thoughts than our actions. But aside from that, I am sure we have that amount of regrets. We want to use Yom Kippur to analyze them and get rid of them. In addition, we tend to regret things that are possible, that we could do more than things that are impossible. For example, I don't regret being Jackie Mason. Although he was a rabbi, I'm not that funny. Besides, I couldn't imitate his accent. I have enough with mine. But I do regret things that were done wrong, that were hurtful to you, to my family, to my wife, to my children, to my neighbors. And the next question is obviously, what do we do with them? How do we initiate the process of working them in some fashion? One thing is clear to me: I do not recommend the Anthony Hopkins or the Edith Piaf suggestions. Please don't. So where can we go? From whom can we learn? How do we reduce the emotional and the spiritual baggage that weighs us down because of our regrets? Where is the Jenny Craig or the Dr. Atkins that we can go in order to learn how to reduce this weight, the weight of our mistakes and regrets that weigh us down, that we now become aware of? Would you consider dealing with your regrets tonight if I were to tell you that even God feels regrets? It's written in the Torah, Vayinachem Adonai ki asa et ha'adam ba'aretz, vayitatzed el libo. And God regretted having made humankind on earth. And Moses goes up to Mount Sinai and gets the tablets with the 10 Commandments of God. But down at the foot of the mountain, the people of Israel are creating a worship of an idol, the so-called golden calf. In anger, he smashes the tablets and rebukes the people of Israel. And how does Moses fix that? How does Moses begin the process of tshuva, of doing tikkun, repair of his actions? Actually, you have 3 parties that should have regrets at this moment. God, for creating humans. Moses, for breaking the tablets, and the people of Israel for breaking their covenant. What do they do afterwards? Well, Moses takes the symbol of his regret, the broken tablets, and puts them inside of the tabernacle, that portable ark. The broken tablets are next to the second set of tablets that are complete. Luchot v'shivrei luchot munachim ba'aron, said the rabbis. The tablets and the broken tablets are carried together in the Aron HaKodesh. Moses seemed to suggest to all of us that you don't dispose of your regrets so freely and easily, that you really carry your regrets with you. You carry them with you because that is the only way that you can do better next time. You can express them as Maimonides suggested. You can talk about them to yourself, to others. But you carry them with you because they should be your teachers. They should be your guide. They should not make you sad or torment you, but they should be a reminder in your life. Each one of us carries broken tablets. Each one of us has an ark inside. Do you have regrets? Of course you do. Have you done things that hurt other people, the people that you love? Of course. That's why you love them. They're close to you. They get hurt. Can you undo those regrets? Sometimes, perhaps you can. Usually, you cannot. But you can live with your regrets in the Aron HaKodesh of your life and be different this year because you acknowledge that. You can be better. You can do better. You can carry around the love that you receive. And if you didn't receive it, you can create love towards others. If you're broken inside in your feelings, doesn't mean that you cannot give of your love to others. Luchot v'shivrei luchot munachim ba'aron. Our wholeness and our brokenness we carry inside. I would like to see us all significantly lighter at the end of Yom Kippur tomorrow night. Not because you have gone through a whole day without eating. That's a very temporary change. I would like to see you and me walk out of shul tomorrow night lighter, because we would have divested ourselves of burnings, burdens, resentments, feuds, misunderstandings, bad things, grudges that have hurt us and others. But my suggestion tonight is that you use this metaphor. Luchot v'shivrei luchot munachim ba'aron. The tablets and the broken tablets are carried together in the Aron HaKodesh of your heart. Promise me that this year you will travel light. You will travel light and use your regrets to uplift that way in which you have forgiven others and you make your broken pieces whole again. As we carry them into the new year, may we turn all our regrets into guidance for the next chapter of our lives. Gemar Chatima Tova. It's my honor now to call upon Shoshana Germanow to open the ark, the congregation to turn to page 223 for Ya'aleh, and invite Lisa Kasten and Silvana Bachman, that they will sing.
Yale tachanuneno merev veyafo shavateinu miboker veyerahe rienonenu
Ya'aleh koleinu me'erev v'yavosit kateinu miboker ve'yeraeh pidyoneinu ad arev.
Yelehinu
Ve'yavo slichateinu miboker ve'yeraeh nakateinu ad arev. Ya'aleh menuseinu Ve'yavo lemano miboker ve'yeraeh kipuneinu ad arev. Ya'aleh Yishenu merev ve'yavo tohoreinu miboker ve'yeraeh chinuneinu ad arev.
Yale zichroneinu
me'erev
ve'yavov yudeinu miboker ve'yeraeh hadrateinu ad arev.
Ya'aleh dovkeinu me'erev
ve'yavo gileinu miboker ve'yeraeh bakashateinu ad arev.
Ya'aleh
enkatenu me'erev ve'yavo elecha miboker ve'yeraeh eleinu ad
You now may be seated, page 224. Continue with Shomea Tfilah, Yeshikoach Tzvana. Please be seated. We are on page 225 on the Shamalach.
Atanu al Shimcha Adonai, Aseh leman Shmecha, Mavur kevod Shimcha, Ki Yechanun Verachum Shemecha, Leman Shimcha Adonai, V'salachta lavoneinu, Ki Darkech Eloheinu, Mirich L'Raim L'Tovim, Vehi Tehilatecha. Leman Eloheinu, Asev Lanu, Re'ya Midatenu, Dalim V'Rekim. Ta'al rucha le'aleni daf, tinachem al afar v'efer, tashlich atahenu v'tachon b'maasecha, terek yein ish aseh imanu tzedakah.
We're now on page 226, El Erech HaPayim.
El Erech HaPayim atav harachamim nikreta, derech tishrit. Yavor Adonai al panav vayikra, Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech HaPayim berach chesed v'emet, notzer chesed la'alafim, notzer avon v'afer sham.
Yotzer chesed la'alafim nosei avon va'afesha v'chata'a
וסלחת לעווננו וחטאתנו ונחלתנו. סלח לנו אבינו כי חטאנו. מחל לנו מכנו כי פשענו.
כי אתה Adonai, tov v'salach. Ki ata Adonai, tov v'salach. Verach chesed, verach chesed, lechol Now call upon David Sarkowski to open the ark. We're on page 227. The prayer is Kehine Kahomer, and congregation is up. All right. Didn't know that. As clay in the hand of the potter, who thickens or thins it at will, so we are with your hand, guardian of love.
La brita beit, ve'yatefen la yetzer.
Together as a stone in the hand of a mason, who preserves or breaks it at will, so are we in your hand, God of life and death.
Anachnu beyadcha chesed notzer. La brita beit, ve'yatefen la yetzer.
Together as iron in the hand of a blacksmith, who forges or withdraws it at will, so are we in your hand, support of the poor.
Anachnu beyadcha chesed be'emet. La brita beit, ve'yatefen la yetzer.
Together as the helm in the hand of the sailor, who holds the course or abandons it at will, so are we in your hand, good and forgiving God.
Kenanach ben yadcha el tov v'salach. La brita beit, ve'yatefen la yetzer.
Together as glass in the hand of a glazier, who shapes or melts it at will, so are we in your hand, pardoner of sin and transgression.
Kenanachnu beyadcha mochel zadon v'shegek. La brita beit, v'yatefen la yetzer.
His cloth in the hand of the draper, who drapes or twisted at will. So are we in your hand, righteous God.
Kein anachnu beyadcha, elekano v'nokem. La brita beit, v'yatefen la yetzer.
Silver in the hand of the smelter, who alloys or refines it at will. So are we in your hand, healer of wounds.
Kein anachnu beyadcha, mamtzi lemazor teref. La brita beit, v'yatefen la yotzer.
Close the ark. Please be seated as we then turn through the Shlosh Esrei Midot, page 229, El Melech Yoshev.
El Melech Yoshev al kisei rachamim.
El Melech Yoshev al kisei rachamim. El oretanu lanu shosrei Adonai panav vayikra. Kindly rise.
V'yavor Adonai panav vayikra. Adonai, Adonai, el rachum v'chanun, erech apayim v'rav chesed v'emet notzer chesed la'alafim nosei avon v'hafesha Adonai, Adonai, el rachum v'chanun, erech apayim v'rav chesed v'emet notzer chesed la'alafim nosei avon v'hafesha v'chata'a V'salachta lavonenu uchatatenu unchatanu. Slach lanu avinu ki chatanu. Mechalanu malekenu ki fashanu. Adonai, Tov v'Salach, Ki ata Adonai, Tov v'Salach, v'rav chesed, l'cho
Please be seated. We are on page 230, the special piyut in the Italian rite. Continues with slichot. I'll do it in English, I'll do the refrain in Hebrew. To you we pray, above us all, beyond all time and space. Understand us, mortal beings, poor in spirit, weak of flesh. For you turn toward the humble, the broken, the weak. Forgive us on this day. Surely you will do so tomorrow. My soul yearns for you. though I am afraid of your judgment. Our ritual is imperfect. We can no longer follow the prescribed form. Yet we depend on you. Turn to us as if we were high priests standing before your ark. Surely you will do so tomorrow. My heart is caught in the web it has spun, and I am conscious of how short my life is. We depart like dew that may shine for a morning, not saved by its lowly state. It quickly fades. On this day when we are summoned before the judge of all, turn us for your honor's sake. Allow us to walk in the land of the living. Forgive the sins of your people.
Surely you will do so tomorrow.
Now you, my sovereign, redeem the children of Jacob and accept our fasting from one evening to the next. Rain down on us this redemption we have prayed for, and quench our thirst. Sur Israel, stronghold of Israel, bathe me in your purifying waters, and purify me as I sing to you. Surely this is our God. Surely you will do so tomorrow. Wipe away my sins as I call to you. Fill with awe in your holy sanctuary for me anew, granting me a heart freshly born, as the righteous teacher foretold in your holy law regarding this special day. Surely you will do so tomorrow. We now turn to page 232 for another session of the Shloshet Midot, the 13 attributes of God in El Melech Yoshev.
המלך יושב על כיסא רחמים, מנהג בחסידות מעביר ראשון מרבה סליחות.
הוריתנו לנו 13.
סליחה הוריתי לנו למד 13.
Finally rise.
ויעבור אדוני על פניו ויקרא אדוני אדוני אל רחום וחנון ערך אפיים ורב חסד ואמת נוצר חסד לענפים נושא עוון ופשע וחטאה נוצר חסד לענפים נושא עוון ופשע וחטאה וסלחת לעווננו וחטאתנו ונחתנו. סלח לנו אבינו כי חטאנו. וחלנו מלכנו כי פשענו.
כי אתה
אדוני טוב וצלח כי אתה אדוני טוב וצלח ורב חסד לכל קודש
Kerachem on page 232. Please remain standing.
Kerachem al banim, ken terachem Adonai aleinu, l'Adonai ha'Yeshua, alamecha, birchatecha selah, l'Adonai ha'Yeshua, alamecha, birchatecha selah.
All right. We remain standing as we call upon Debbie and Ralph Brenner to open the ark for the prayer Shema Koleinu on page 233.
Shema Koleinu, Adonai Eloheinu, Chutz v'rachem aleinu, v'kabel b'rachamim uvratzon, v'kabel b'rachamim uvratzon, et tefilotenu hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva chadesh yameinu yameinu kekedem. תשליכנו מלפניך ורוח קודשך אל תיקח ממנו. אל תשליכנו לעת זקנה, ככלות כוחנו, ככלות כוחנו. אל תעזבנו.
We close the ark. Now may be seated, page 234, Ki Anu Amecha.
Eloheinu Elohe Avotenu, Selach lanu, Mechalanu, Kaper lanu, Ki anu amecha, Ve'ata Eloheinu, Anu vanecha, Ve'ata avinu, Anu avadecha, Ve'ata Adonenu, Anu ke'alecha, Ve'ata kalkeinu, Anu nachlatecha, Ve'ata goraleinu, Anu tzonecha, Ve'ata roeinu, Anu charmecha, Ve'ata notreinu, Anu fiulatecha, Ve'ata dodenu, Anu siglatecha, Ve'ata krovenu, Anu amecha, Ve'ata malkeinu, Anu mamerita, Ve'ata Anu mamiracha, Ve'ata mamireinu. Anu azefanim, Ve'ata rachum v'chanun. Anu kasheyoref, Ve'ata erech apayim. Anu malei avon, Ve'ata malei rachamim. Anu yamenu ketzel over, Ve'atahu ushnotecha lo yitamu.
On page 235, we have the short confessional Shamnu. When we transgress, we certainly betray our own personal trust and the trust of others. But when we repent, we find again that purity of our hearts and that connection with the Almighty. We ask you to now kindly rise as we follow the directions of the Chazan for the Shamnu, and just pick your talit on the right hand or left hand, depending if you're left, right or lefty, it doesn't matter. It's not a political statement. And you have your heart on your left, I'm sorry.
Ay, 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 Ashamnu,
Ashamnu,
Bagadnu,
Bagadnu,
Gazalenu,
Gazarnu,
Dibarnu Dofi,
Dibarnu Dofi,
ay, 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 Ha'avinu, V'hirshanu, Zadnu, Hamasnu, Tafanu Sheker, ay, 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 Sararnu, Sarnu mitzvotecha mishpatecha tovim Lo sheva lanu V'ata tzadik al kol aleinu Ki emet asita v'anachnu yeshanu.
Please be seated. We are on page 236, the bottom of the page. Ata Yodea Razei Olam.
Ata yodei razei olam v'toyot sidrei kol chai ata chovetz kol charei vaten uvochen kelayot Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Shetizlach lanu al kol chatotenu, V'timcha lanu al kol avonotenu,
Yashikoach to Jonathan Allentoff. We now are going to continue with the Al-Chet on page 237. This is the longer confessional. We ask you to kindly rise.
Oh,
No, but you have to be next because of the singing part.
is better.
Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha unwillingly and willingly. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha through hardening our hearts. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha thoughtlessly. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha in idle chatter. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha through sexual immorality. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha openly and in private. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha knowingly and deceitfully. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha by the way we talk. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha by defrauding others. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha in our innermost thoughts. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha through our forbidden trysts. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha through empty confession. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha scorning parents and teachers. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha purposely and by mistake. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha resorting to violence. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha by partly desecration of your name. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha through foul speech. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha through foolish talk. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha pursuing the impulse to evil. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha wittingly and unwittingly.
Ve'alekula Eloah selichot selach lanu mechalanu kaper lanu.
Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha through denial and deceit. ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך by taking bribes. על חטא שחטאנו לפניך by clever cynicism. ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך by speaking ill of others. על חטא שחטאנו לפניך the way we do business. ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך in our eating and drinking. על חטא שחטאנו לפניך by greed and oppressive interest. ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך through arrogance. על חטא שחטאנו לפניך in everyday conversation. ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך through conspirational glances. על חטא שחטאנו לפניך through condescension. ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך through stubbornness.
ועל כולם אלוהיו סליחות, סלח לנו, מחל לנו, כפר לנו.
על חטא שחטאנו לפניך by throwing off all restraint. ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך by rashly judging others. על חטא שחטאנו לפניך by plotting against others. ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך through selfishness. על חטא שחטאנו לפניך through superficiality. ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך through stubbornness. על חטא שחטאנו לפניך by rushing to do evil. ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך through gossip. על חטא שחטאנו לפניך through empty promises. ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך through baseless hatred. על חטא שחטאנו לפניך by betraying trust. ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך by succumbing to confusion.
ועל כולם אלוהיו סליחות, סלח לנו, מחל לנו, כפר לנו.
Please be seated. We now continue on page 240 with a piyut that requires your participation. Hu ya'anenu mi'asa l'sara imenu bizit naka nata hu ya'anenu. It's a beautiful composition that goes through the entire history of the Jewish people, if you will.
משענה לשרה עמנו בזקנתה,
hu ya'anenu
משענה לאברהם אבינו בהר המוריה,
hu ya'anenu
משענה ליצחק בנו כשנעקד על גבי המזבח,
hu ya'anenu
משענה לרבקה בהריות יונה, hu יעננו. משענה ליעקב בבית-אל, hu יעננו. משענה ללאה בעוניה, hu יעננו. משענה לרחל בצפונה, hu יעננו. משענה ליוסף בבית האסורים, hu יעננו. משענה למילדות העבריות על אבניים, hu יעננו. משענה ליוכבת על שפת היאור, hu יעננו. משענה לאבותינו ולאמותינו על ים סוף, hu יעננו. משענה למשה בחורב, hu יעננו. משענו למרים בבערה, hu יעננו. משענו לאהרון במחתה, hu יעננו. משענו לפנחס בקומו מתוך העדה, hu יעננו. משענו לבנות צלופחד בעומדן פתח אוהל מועד, hu יעננו. משענה לכל הצדיקים והצדיקות, והחסידים והחסידות, והתמימים והתמימות, והישרים והישרות, והרחמנים והרחמינות, hu יעננו.
page 242 at the bottom of the page, Rachamana.
Rachamana deyama laniye anena. Rachamana deyane lamaki chevrucha anena. Rachamana deyane litvire liba anena. Rachamana anena, Rachamana chus, Rachamana. Rachamana peruk, Rachamana shazev, Rachamana. Rachamana, Rachemalan, Ashtabagala, Uvisman Kari.
Now towards the end of our Kol Nidre service on the night of Kol Nidre, we will turn to page 243. We invite Amy Levinson and Brett Schulman. They will open the ark, and the prayer is Avinu Malkeinu. Please rise.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Koleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, Chamol aleinu, V'yalol aleinu, V'tapeinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Kalei dever, V'cherev v'rav, Mei aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Kalei chotzan, U'mastir, Mei aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Kotneinu, Mesefer Chaim Tovim. Avinu Malkeinu, Chodesh Aleinu, Chodesh Aleinu, Shana Tova. Avinu Malkeinu, Chodesh Aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chodesh Aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Koleinu, Shema Koleinu, Shema Koleinu. Avinu Malkeinu Katan Lefanecha, Avinu Malkeinu Elanu Melech Elata. Simon man Shemach Avinu Malkeinu Kadosh Aleinu Shalom Tova Avinu Malkeinu. Avinu Malkeinu Hachazirenu B'tshuva Shlema Lefanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chazirenu b'tshuva shlema lefanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu Shalach Refuah Shlema L'cholei Amecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shalach refuah shlema l'cholei amecha.
Avinu Malkeinu Zochrenu B'zikaron Tov Lefanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu, Zochrenu b'zikaron tov lefanecha.
Avinu Malkeinu Kotvenu B'Sefer Chaim Tovim.
Avinu Malkeinu, Kavenu b'sefer chaim tovim.
Avinu Malkeinu Kotvenu B'Sefer Geulah V'Yeshua.
Avinu Malkeinu, Kavenu b'sefer gula v'yeshua.
Avinu Malkeinu מלכנו כותבנו בספר פרנסה וכלכלה.
אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר פרנסה וכלכלה.
אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר זכויות.
אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר זכויות.
אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר סליחה ומחילה.
אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר סליחה.
אבינו מלכנו הצמח לנו ישוע בקרוב. אבינו מלכנו רם כרם ישראל עמך. אבינו מלכנו רם כרם ושכחה. אבינו מלכנו שמח לנו פוס ברוך אלינו. אבינו מלכנו אבינו מלכנו עשה למען החיים לא למעננו. אבינו מלכנו חוננו ועננו. אבינו מלכנו חוננו ועננו כי אין בנו מעשים. עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד. עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד והושיענו. אבינו מלכנו חוננו ועננו. אבינו מלכנו חוננו ועננו כי אין בנו מעשים. עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד. עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד והושיענו. אבינו מלכנו חוננו ועננו. אבינו מלכנו חוננו ועננו כי אין בנו מעשים.
Close the ark and please remain standing for Kaddish Shalem, page 245.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
ביעלם דברך רהותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביום מכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בעגלה ובזמן קריב. ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולמי עולמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל. שמי דקודשה שמי דקודשה ברכו לעילה לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה תאמירן ביעלמה. תושבחתה ונחמתה תאמירן ביעלמה. ואמרו אמן. תתקבל תלותון ובאותון דכל ישראל קודם אבוהון דבשמיא ואמרו אמן. יהי שמיים רבה מן שמיא וחי Aleinu, Aleinu, v'yako Yisrael v'yimeru. V'yimeru, Amen. Ose shalom b'mromav, uyaseh shalom. Aleinu, Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imro, ve'imeru, Amen.
Aleinu Leshabeach 246.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gidula liotzer bereshit, shelo asan kuye haratzot, velo samanu, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gon aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ ומשה יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו ככתוב בתורתו וידעת היום השבות אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר ויהיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Close the ark and may be seated, and we turn to page 248 for Psalm 27, Psalm for the season of repentance. David Adonai.
Is that okay? That shelter, just part of this.
אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני אותה אבקש. אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני אותה אבקש. שבתי בבית אדוני כל ימי חיי, לחזות בנועם אדוני ולבקר בהיכלו. לחזות בנועם אדוני ולבקר בהיכלו. אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני אותה אבקש. אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני אותה אבקש. שבתי בבית אדוני כל ימי חיי, לחזות בנועם, בנועם אדוני, ולבקר בהיכלו. לחזות בנועם, בנועם אדוני, ולבקר בהיכלו.
We practice so much.
I know. ולהמתי לראות בתשובה אדוני בארץ חיים, קווה אל רוח חזק ויאמץ ליבך, וקווה אל אדוני.
Tonight we recall the lives of those who have passed away in the last 30 days. Mitchell Adams, Charles Lipson, Eleanor Saunders, Joseph Yellen. And we continue recalling the lives of Marjorie Ruth Chesson and Stephanie Cruz for a whole year. For tomorrow, the 10th of Tishrei, we recall the lives of Hyman Chertoff, Nathan J. Goldberg, Beatrice Hagelberg, Dofa Kaplansky, Herman Restenblatt, Chaim Konar, Rachel Miriam Konar, David Krieger, Abraham Pose, Ida Rothman, Benny Schulman, Chai Konar Tansman, Bella Konar Tansman, Benjamin Tansman, and David Seligmeyer. Do we remember anybody else that you have come to hear tonight? Mourners and those observing your side will rise now and join me in the recitation of Mourner Scottish, page 247. Yitgadal ve'kadash shemer rabbah, ve'alma dvera chirutei ve'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala uv'izman kariv imru amen. Yehei shemer rabbah mevorach le'olam lo me'olmaya, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תעמידם בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו Amen. Please be seated. A great pleasure to welcome Gerald Gum for greetings from the officers of the congregation.
I stand here tonight with a simple question. Why are we here? Why are we here on this night in this sanctuary? Why are you here? Or maybe for each of us, the right question is, why am I here? We have busy lives. The world, frankly, and that's what I study, is a mess right now. There is so much work out there that we need to do, and yet we are here. No one made us come. On the contrary, getting here on a weeknight after a workday or a school day, rushing through dinner before the sun begins to set is a genuine inconvenience. I was teaching this afternoon, and I didn't get to leave campus until after 5 o'clock. Driving home, my mind was racing. What would we eat? How much time would I have to get this suit on, to tie this bow tie? But we are here. We made a choice to be here. It's an odd choice. If I look at the numbers, most of my siblings aren't in synagogues tonight. Most of my Jewish friends aren't in synagogues tonight. Large numbers of our fellow congregants aren't here tonight or even watching us live streaming at home. So each of us chose to be here. Each of us came to this decision in our own way. And each of us, I want to suggest, should be asking, what brought me here? So I offer 3 answers, really 3 variations on this question. Why am I here? Why do I need to be in a synagogue on the high holidays? Partly for me, I'm a creature of habit, so that's part of it. I appreciate the role that institutions, rituals, and holidays and synagogues play in our lives. I value community. But for me, a big part of my answer is personal, and I would guess that for almost everyone here, each one of us has a personal answer as to what brought us to this seat tonight. For me, being in a synagogue on the high holidays connects me with my past. It makes me feel like I'm part of something that's bigger than me. When I was a child in Sharon, Massachusetts, and some of you might recall my childhood rabbi, Shammai Cantor, since he later moved out west somewhere to Rochester, New York. Back in those days when I was a kid, the high holidays were a family affair. My mom's parents lived a few houses down from us, and we'd walk past their house on the way to synagogue. So on the high holidays, the six of us, my mom, my dad, my brothers, my sister, and I, we'd pick up my grandparents as we walked to temple. Once we made it to the temple, we were all fidgety. All three generations of us were fidgety. My grandmother kept candies in her purse, which on Rosh Hashanah, not Yom Kippur, she'd unwrap and dole out as the services went on. The four of us would run in and out of the sanctuary, playing with our friends in the hallways and in the parking lot. I remember as a young child walking into our temple on Yom Kippur morning and hearing a radio. It was startling. A radio in a conservative synagogue on Yom Kippur. As we all learned at that moment, Israel had been invaded by Egypt and Syria. I remember another Yom Kippur when we suddenly thought my father was having a heart attack. He was rushed to the hospital. He turned out to be perfectly fine, but he got to eat the rest of the day. I remember another Kol Nidre service where our rabbi gave us constant updates throughout the service on the progress of a Red Sox playoff game. The high holidays were the music of my childhood. In our temple, we sat in old-fashioned wooden pews. We were there for each of our 4 bat and bat mitzvahs. I was 26 when my mother died. She was 50. It was August, and we were back in those same wooden pews as a family for my mom's funeral. All of us were there, including my 4 grandparents, sitting in those same pews. 3 weeks later, we were all back in those same pews for the holidays. When our rabbi delivered the sermon that year for Yom Kippur, I was certain he was speaking directly to us and to our grief. The words that we just sang, Avinu Malkeinu Chanenu V'Anenu Ki Ein Banu Ma'asim, I drew those words from the Yom Kippur service as I'd walk home from campus every day, as my words thinking about my mom in those days. Those memories, those bonds with the past, that sense of community, that's partly why I'm here. But why Bethel? When I first came here, I was a stranger in a new city. I didn't even know where Rochester was at first. And it was old memories that brought me here. I wandered in and out of this congregation for years, found for a time a home at the University of Rochester Hillel, and yet came back here. So why here? I look around this room today and I see so many familiar faces, and I realize that's why. When I first moved here, Anita and Fred Duche, who were parents of one of my friends from college, made sure to include me in their high holiday traditions. Others of you brought me into your homes for Shabbat dinners. Year after year, for the last 20 years, 2 families in this room have welcomed me and now my husband to their lunches for Rosh Hashanah. I'm here at Bethel because you paid attention to a stranger. You texted me on Erev Shabbat to ask if I'd be at services. Here I give a shout out to Matt Ryan and Marty and Lena Spicone. And it was sometimes annoying, and you never judged me if I showed up late for services but lingered for Kiddush. I'm here because when Charles and I prepared to get married, and the congregation had never before announced a same-gender wedding or an interfaith wedding in its emails, you smashed all precedents and made us both feel welcome. And Erwin, I hope Erwin Goldberg is here, because how can I not show up for Shabbat services when you're the one greeting me the moment I walk in the door? I dare any of you to come on Shabbat to be greeted by Erwin and not to feel immediately at home. This is the congregation that followed us home during the pandemic, on Rosh Hashanah, on Yom Kippur, on Hanukkah, on so many other occasions, with do-it-yourself at home Temple Bethel rituals. And if Debbie Zager is here, thank you for never stopping believing in this community. So why are we in a synagogue for Kol Nidre? Why are we here at Temple Bethel? Those are two of my questions, but I have a third variation, and it's existential. Why are we here? Here on this earth, here in this life. For me, that's the central question of Yom Kippur. And the paradox of Jewish prayer, for me at least, is that we're reminded constantly of how small we are, of how insignificant we are, of how trivial our existence is next to God's majesty. In the Unatana Tokef, which we read on Rosh Hashanah, which we'll read again tomorrow, we read that each person's origin is dust, and each person will return to the earth having spent life seeking sustenance. We're compared to a broken shard, withering grass, a shriveled flower, a passing shadow, a fading cloud, a fleeting breeze, scattered dust, a vanishing dream. And yet, on this day, on Yom Kippur, we, these broken people, insist on their dreams and insist on their faith and insist on the redemptive power of teshuvah, tzedakah, and tefillah. We realize as we sit here that we have no idea what the next year will bring, even whether we will see another Yom Kippur. We trust God to hear us. We gather together to worship and to share stories and to repeat the same prayers year after year and to be reminded why we are here. To be together, to comfort one another in our grief, to cry as we remember the women and men of this congregation whom we cherished and loved and whose seats are empty tonight, to smile at the children running around the room, and to sit up straight and at attention when we read Haftorah on Yom Kippur morning. The words of tomorrow's Haftorah come from Isaiah. Isaiah tells us that the people of Israel are fasting, but God does not hear their prayers. Why, when we fasted, did you not see? They ask of God. When we starved our bodies, did you pay no heed? Because God answers, on your fast day you see to your business and oppress all your laborers, because you fast in strife and in contention. Your fasting today is not such as to make your voice heard on high. Is such the fast I desire, a day for people to starve their bodies? Is it bowing the head like a bulrush and lying in sackcloth and ashes? Do you call that a fast? No, we read tomorrow morning. This is the fast that I desire, to unlock fetters of wickedness, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke. It is to share your bread with the hungry, and to take the wretched poor into your home, and when you see the naked, to clothe him. Then shall your light burst through like the dawn. Your vindicator shall march before you. The presence of God shall be your rear guard. And then when you call, God will answer. When you cry, God will say, here I am. To reckon with our own selves, to stir those better angels of our nature, to be reminded that we are knit together as one community, is why I believe each of us ultimately is here tonight. At some level, conscious or not, that yearning is what brings us together on this solemn day. On behalf of the officers and the Board of Trustees, I am privileged to greet you all. Gemar Chatima Tova.
Thank you, Gerald, for a beautiful, important message. We now conclude our services with Adon Olam, and we hope to see you tomorrow. Services will be here at 9 a.m. I suggest you don't wear a watch because we'll be here all day. But at 7:26, we'll conclude. Adon Olam, page 249.
Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra asa b'chefso kol azdai melech shemo nikra b'yacharei kichlot hakol levado yimoch nora vehu haya vehu hova vehu yiyeh b'tifara vehu echad v'yen sheni להמשיל להכפירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמשרה והוא אלי וחי גואלי וצור חבלי ביצרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו אפקיד רוחי בעת אישן ויהירה ואם רוחי יביאתי אדוני